Alright guys, we're going to be focusing on mount escape, so we're going to be looking at buck and roll. So the first thing we're going to look at is where we want his knees. If his knees are up under my armpits here, I can lift my hips and not much happens, so I need to frame and get his hips over my hips here. So the first thing we're going to look at is when his hands are on my shoulders. Maybe he's trying to hold me down, maybe he's trying to set up a choke, but we're going to look at controlling this arm. I'm going to control the wrist, control the back of the arm just like I'm holding a glass. My elbow is just holding his knee right where it is. I'm going to block his ankle, and my knees kind of want to be similar, like pretty close to parallel, so they're kind of angled up and to the side over here. I'm going to push my hip up and then over, and then to my knees and get up in the top of the mount. Guard. The next thing we're going to look at, his hands on the ground, kind of posted out here. So I can't control his arm very well from this position, so I'm going to look at kind of looping over. One thing that's important is that I don't just reach and get my arm exposed here. If I do this, unless I'm way, way stronger, he's going to be able to collapse my head and my arm here. So what I want to do is I'm going to pull down. Well, if he tries to push up, I can just like let go. So I'm going to pull down here and then loop my arm over here where I'm fairly strong. I'm going to block everything below my waist is exactly the same. I'm going to pinch my elbow in. Make sure your partner's hand is palm up. And I'm going to shoot for the underhook here, steering him over, and then rolling to the top there. At the same time you show that move, you can also show the head scoop. So if he scoops my head, everything is the same with my legs. My hand, instead of trapping, is going to just trap here. My left arm does the same thing. All right, now this is a different variation of the same technique that helps me a lot. So a lot of times when I'm training, I get the guy's arm, boom, and what does he do? He counters. Okay, so now I do the same move that we just looked at, and I just kind of move him just to like an inch maybe. Nothing really happens. So what I want to do is I'm going to do the same motion with my legs. I'm really trying to keep his leg planted. And now from here, I'm going to turn my whole body instead of bridging up. I'm just going to turn to my right and pull my head under his head and then roll to the top. It's slow like that. Think of your body as like a spool and his ankle is like the end of a thread. And I'm wrapping his leg up in the spool. So I control here, he's countered. If I try to bridge up, nothing happens. I want to roll and then bridge out. Here. It's really strong, works really well. So that's the end of the buck and roll techniques. We're going to look at the counter when he counters so much that he leaves another wide open door. So we'll look at that in just a second.